What's up, guys? Welcome to March 26th as we dive into Joshua chapter 12, verse 7. The following is a list of the kings that Joshua and the Israelites' army defeated on the west side of the Jordan, from Baal-gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, which leads up to Seir. Joshua gave this land to the tribes of Israel as their possession, including the hill country, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountain slopes, the Judean wilderness, and the Negev. The people who lived in this region were the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the kings Israel defeated: the king of Jericho, the king of Ai near Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Debir, the king of Geder, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Melechdah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tapah, the king of Haphon, the king of Hepher, the king of Aphek, the king of Lesharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazar, the king of Shimron-Meron, the king of Akshaph, the king of Tanakh, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jogneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the town of Naphath Dor, the king of Garim in Gilgal, the king of Taraz. In all, 31 kings were defeated. Chapter 13. When Joshua was an old man, the Lord said to him, "You are growing old, and much land remains to be conquered. This is the territory that remains: all the regions of the Philistines and the Geshurites, and the larger territory of the Canaanites, extending from the stream of Shihor on the border of Egypt northward to the boundary of Ekron. It includes the territory of the 5 Philistine rulers of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. The land of the Avites in the south also remains to be conquered. In the north, the following area has not yet been conquered: all the land of the Canaanites, including Mearah, yet belongs to the Sidonians, stretching northward to Aphek on the border of the Amorites, the land of the Gabalites, and all of the Lebanon mountain area to the east, from Baal-gad below Mount Hermon to Lebo Hamath, and on the hill, and all the hill country from the Lebanon to Mizrathath-maim, including all the land of the Sidonians. I myself will drive these people out of the land ahead of the Israelites, so be sure to give this land to Israel as a special possession, just as I've commanded you, including all this territory at Israel's possession when you divide this land among the 9 tribes and the half-tribes of Manasseh. Half the tribe of Manasseh and the tribes of Reuben and Gad have already received their grants of land on the east side of the Jordan, for Moses, the servant of the Lord, had previously assigned this land to them. Their territory extended from area on the edge of the Arnon Gorge, including the towns in the middle of the gorge, to the plain beyond Medaba as far as Gibeon. It also included all the towns of King Sihon on the Amorites, who had reigned in Heshbon, and extended as far as the borders of Ammon. It included Gilead, the territory of the kingdoms of Geshur and Machak, all of Mount Hermon, all of Bashan as far as Salakah, and all the territory of King Og of Bashan, who had reigned in Ashtaroth, and Edrei, king territory of King Og of Bashan, who had reigned in Ashtaroth, and Edrei. King Og was the last of the Rephaites, for Moses had attacked them and driven them out. But the Israelites failed to drive out the people of Geshur and Micah, so they continued to live among the Israelites to this day. Moses did not assign any allotment of land to the tribe of Levi. Instead, as the Lord had promised them, their allotment came from the offerings burned on the altar to the Lord, the God of Israel. Moses had assigned the following areas to the clans of the tribe of Reuben. Their territory extended from Ariel on the edge of the Arnon Gorge, including the towns in the middle of the gorge, to the plain beyond Medeba. It included Heshbon and other towns on the plain, Debon, Bamathbal, Beth-Balmanian, Jahaz, Kedamoth, Mephilath, Kirathim, Sibma, Zereth, Shahar on the hill above the valley, Bethor, the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshemoth. The land of Reuben also included all the towns of the plain and the entire kingdom of Sihon. Sihon was the Amorite king who had reigned in Heshbon and was killed by Moses along with the leaders of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Har, and Rabbah, princes living in the region who were allied with Sihon. The Israelites also killed Balaam, son of Beor, who used magic to tell the future. The Jordan Valley marked the western boundary for the tribe of Reuben. The towns and their surrounding villages in this area were given as a homeland to the clans of the tribe of Reuben. Moses had assigned the following area to the clans of the tribes of Gad. Their territory included Jazer, all the towns of Gilead, and half of the land of Ammon, as far as the town of Aroer, just west of Rabbah. It extended from Heshbon to Ramat Mizpah and Batem, and from Mahanaim to the territory of Lo-debar. In the valley with Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, Zaphon, and the rest of the kingdoms of King Sihon of Heshbon. The western boundary ran along the Jordan River, extended as far north as the tip of the Sea of Galilee, and turned eastward. The towns and their surrounding villages in this area were given as a homeland to the clans of the tribe of Gad. Moses had assigned the following area to the clans of half-tribe of Manasseh. Their territory extended from Mahanaim, including all of Bashan, all the former kingdom of King Og, and the 60 towns of Jair and Bashan. It has also included half of Gilead and King Og's royal cities at Ashtaroth and Edrei. All this was given to the clans of the descendants of Machir, who was Manasseh's son. These are the allotment Moses had made while he was on the plains of Moab, across the Jordan River east of Jericho. But Moses gave no allotment of land to the tribe of Levi, for the Lord, the God of Israel, had promised that he himself will be their allotment. Chapter 14. The remaining tribes of Israel divided or received land in Canaan as allotted by Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the tribal leaders. These 9.5 tribes received their grants of land by means of sacred lots in accordance with the Lord's command through Moses. Moses had already given a grant of land to the 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan River, but he had Given the Levites no such allotment, the descendants of Joseph had become two separate tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and the Levites were given no land at all, only towns to live in with surrounding pasture lands for their livestock and all their possessions. So the land was distributed in strict accordance with the Lord's commands to Moses. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Jephunneh of the Kenizzites, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave an honest report, but my brothers too, who went with me, frightened the people from entering the promised land. For my part, I wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. So that day Moses solemnly promised me the land of Canaan, on which you were just walking with be your grant of land and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly follow the Lord my God." Now, as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well as he promised for all the 45 years that Moses made this promise. Even while Israel wandered in the wilderness, today I'm 85 years old. I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey, and I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You will remember that as scouts we found the descendants of Anak living there in great walled towns. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land, just as the Lord said. So Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave Hebron to him as his portion of land. Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Previously, Hebron was also called Kiriath Arba. It had been named Arba, a great hero of the descendants of Anak, and the land was rest from war. Chapter 15. The allotment for the clans of the tribe of Judah reached southward to the border of Edom, as far south as the wilderness of Zin. The southern boundary began at the south bay above the Dead Sea, ran south of Scorpion, passed into the wilderness of Zin, and went south of Kadesh Barnea to Hezron. Then it went up to Adar, where it turned towards Karka. From there it passed to Asmon until it finally reached the brook of Egypt, which it followed to the Mediterranean Sea. It was their southern boundary. The eastern boundary extended along the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Jordan River. The northern boundary began at the bay where the Jordan River empties into the Dead Sea. Went up from there to Beth Hagla, then proceeded north of Beth Araba to the stone of Bohan. Bohan was Reuben's son. From that point it went from the valley of Anchor to Debir, turning north toward Gilgal, which is across from the slopes of Adamim on the south side of the valley. From there the boundary extended to the streams in Shemesh and on to En-Rogel. The boundary then passed through the valley of Ben Hinnom along the southern slopes of the Jebusites, where the city of Jerusalem is located. Then it went west to the top of the mountain above the valley of Hinnom and on up to the northern ends of the valley of Rephaim. From there the boundary extended from the top of the mountain to the spring at the waters of Naphtah, and from there to the towns on Mount Ephron. Then it turned toward Bela, that is, Kiriath Jearim. The boundary circled west of Bela to Mount Seir, passed along to the Mount of Kesalon on the northern slope of the Mount Jearim, and went down the slope of the hill north of Ekron, where it turned towards Shekaron and Mount Bala. It passed through Jabneel and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. The western boundary was the shoreline of the Mediterranean Sea. These are the boundaries for the clans of the tribe of Judah. The Lord commanded Joshua to assign some of Judah's territory to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So Caleb was given the town of Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, which has been named after Anak's ancestor. Caleb drove out the three groups of Ammonites, the descendants of Shemshai, Ahiman, and Talmiah, the sons of Anak. From there he went to fight against the people living in the towns of Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, I will give my daughter Achsah in marriage to the one who attacks and captures Kiriath Sepher. Othniel, the son of Caleb's brother Kenaz, who was the one who conquered it. So Achsah became Othniel's wife. When Achsah married Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. As she got down off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What's the matter?" She said, "Give me another gift. You have already given me land in the Negev. Now please give me spring of water too." So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. And so that's the end for today. There are not a whole lot to get out of. There was just a lot of names, unfortunately. But one thing that did stood out to me is the lack of fear within Jacob. Caleb. It's interesting because I think all of us tends to have this faith of believing that God could do something. But Joshua is not only did he believe, but he believed in a way where he went out and act out of his faith. And I think that's what distinguishes a lot of people from each other when it comes to faith. It's some of us really believe what God says and stuff, and then when we ask God to do something, we just pray about it. But it's another to actually pray about it, asking God for something, and then be able to go out there and take a step of faith to really show your boldness in God. But yeah, that's kind of what really stood out to me when Caleb just goes out into the land and just start conquering places. He asks God for this land, and he went out to conquer it, and then he was able to get it. And so I guess it's just something God, can we be brave enough to take a step forward, even if it's hard, even if it seems foolish or makes no sense. For me, it's personally, it's being able to share the gospel with the people at school. It's because it's hard to share faith in a public school area, but if I'm there to honor God, I trust that God will be able to take care of me, even if I do get backlashes. But yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else to share. So may you guys go and walk with God.